Hi there. Well, around about 1969, when I was still at secondary school, a friend of mine at the time called Graham Hill started telling me about this thing, Monty Python. Monty Python's Flying Circus. And I thought, what is he on about? So I started watching it on TV. I wasn't too keen on Terry Gilliam's animations anyway. But overall, the humour, I did get it. It was zany, wacky, etc. And yeah, it grew on me. So I started watching that. Anyhow, later on came the first film, which I saw at the cinema. Of course, we didn't have video recorders or anything in those days. Well, not domestically anyway. So I saw that at the cinema. That was great fun. Everybody picked up on the in jokes, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and all those kind of things. You know, the catchphrases of Eric Idle and various other people. So I acquired various bits and bobs of Monty Python's Flying Circus. I think I've already done a DVD, done a video about an anthology, Monty Python, which is on audio, and you'll find it somewhere or other in the catalogue of videos that I've made. Anyhow, I think it was about last year or so, I received a package in the post from a good friend of mine, Paul, and it had all sorts of things in. And the one thing that he included was this. Monty Python's Personal Best. Graham Chapman, John Cleese, Terry Gilliam, Eric Idle, Terry Jones my favourite, and Michael Palin. Well, that's the front of the box. This is the back. I'll read you what it says on the back in a minute. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DVDs. It said, "It's incredible, it's huge, it's the Pythons choosing their own favourite bits. At long last we find out which of the hundreds of sketches made it into their own personal best selections. All the classics are in here. The Lumberjack song, Nudge Nudge, Upper Class Twit of the Year, and of course the Dead Parrot. What's refreshing from these guys is, let's face it, they have egos to contend with. Is that they have even chosen sketches they don't appear in, but they just love to watch, with hilarious new introductions and links from the surviving Pythons, and a touching and insightful tribute to the late Graham Chapman from the rest of the team. This is the very best of Monty Python." Now, this set came out in 2006, and it's slightly different, as I just read to you, the way it's set out. First one, Terry Jones, Personal Best. Writer, director, actor, political satirist, polymath genius, still can't figure out what he wants to do with his life, so he's back to bother us between attempts to save the free world, so on and so forth. Well, there he is, dressed up as lady, there, which he did quite a lot in Python. So that's the first volume. The next one is Michael Palin's Personal Best. Michael Palin, globe-trotting adventurer and comedian's comedian. He has somehow managed to sit still just long enough to put together his compilation of the very best of Monty Python. And there he is in that famous pith helmet. I think it was him that did the fish slapping sketch. It's a while ago since I've watched any Python. I must get back to that. Then John Cleese. Well, we knew John Cleese before Monty Python. He'd been about years, and of course he'd done the Frost Report and various other bits and bobs. For more than 40 years, Cleese has made millions say nay. Billions of fans laugh themselves into a state of near incontinence. Oh dear. But have you asked yourself what makes John Cleese laugh? I know. Money. So that's a John Cleese one. Here we go. Graham Chapman's personal best. That's the rest of the Pythons that put that one together as a fitting tribute to the gentleman himself. He had his own demons, but Michael Palin tells lots of stories about him in his autobiography, or autobiographies, because there's a couple of different versions, a couple of different volumes now. You'll have to bear with me, my sinuses are playing up a bit at the moment. Eric Idle's personal bits. There we have it. It's quite long, actually. Terry Gilliam's personal bits. Of course, he's a film director, etc. now, and quite distinguished. The only American of the cast. And what's it say here? It was put out by Sony Pictures, 2006. And what's the length? What's the run time of this? Does it say? I think it's in 4.3 screen, so it's sort of, there's lines at either side. In total, it gives aspect ratio 4:3 colour, mono and stereo, and each one of them is about 57 minutes. So 6 of them. So it's it's a pretty long time now. Now packaging's a bit knocked about a bit, but still very enjoyable. The last time I didn't see it right through to the end, and I didn't see the Graham Chapman one, so I'll have to play that probably this afternoon in a quiet hour. Anyway, like I say, people were really at school, kids at school. It was like, you weren't in unless you knew all the catchphrases and so on, Python, and you got other pupils at school. What the hell are they on about? Anyway, some years later, when I moved to the United States, I worked for a television channel called WMHT Channel 17, and there used to be the area where they put the programs out from, put the programs to play, did the fades and things like that. And a few Americans there. Mike Casano was one, and the other chap was called Mike, and I can't remember his name. Anyway, they got the first Monty Python LP, I think it was, and they used to play that. They made a tape of it, and they used to play that when they weren't having to give instructions to air, etc. If there were any live programs going out, and they used to listen to these tapes and roar laughing at, particularly at the one about the Piranha Brothers. That seemed to be a great favourite of theirs anyway, and they'd ask me questions about it. It's like you get Americans years ago say to Brits over there, have you ever seen the Beatles? Do you know any of the Beatles? All that nonsense. No, I didn't know any of the Beatles, and I certainly didn't know any of the Pythons. But they got a lot of pleasure out of it anyway, and America seemed to cotton on to the Monty Python's Flying Circus later than we did, and it's probably got a bigger following actually in the United States. Anyway, we will go back to Monty Python at some later date, because I have a monster set of Monty Python that I can tell you all about. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please click the like, and if you haven't subscribed, good time to subscribe now, and then you won't miss all the other strange things that I managed to dig up and show you. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.